Thank you for listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting out of Birmingham, Alabama. The time is 45 minutes after the hour.
Alrighty, we're back, everyone. This is Paraversal Universe on WBHM Digital Broadcasting, WCET-FM, the Rift Radio Network family, and APP Radio Network on Blog Talk. We're your hosts, Kevin and Jennifer Malik. We're glad you are with us as always. Okay, this is exciting. We want to tell everyone that starting this weekend, we're going to offer the t-shirt of the logo and painting for Lake Monstrosities for purchase. Half of the proceeds will go to charity, and the specific cause to help 7-year-old Daniel DeMisa, who suffers from Dravet syndrome and seizures on a regular basis. The other half of the proceeds will go to making more shirts to continue the endeavor. This is the son of our graphic art director, Lawrence DeMisa. The same little boy who painted our logo picture for Lake Monstrosities that we use to this very day. And this is a most excellent way to give back to the DeMisa family for all their friendship, the artwork and the graphic art they provide every week for the show, and of course for Lake Monstrosities.
And to note here, Lawrence's son is 9 years old.
Okay, I'm sorry.
And the design on those T-shirts that he painted is it's awesome. It's so cool. I love it. It's so amazing. And people like
that's a really cool looking shirt. I like it.
Yeah, people that get these shirts will love it.
Yeah, and it's for a good cause.
Yeah, it's for a wonderful cause. Yeah,
great group, great artwork, great shirt for a great cause. So we're really excited about that. To learn or to find more on that, you can, of course, we'll post them in as many lake monster groups as we can. Of course, Lake Monstrosities and Zombie Plesiosaur Society. So everybody out there.
I wanted to mention we also have a group on Facebook called Champ Lake Champlain Monster Research by Scott Mardis and William Draganis, which is specifically about Champ, in addition to the Zombie Plesiosaur Society.
You have other pages too. Let's name them all.
Lake Champlain Mystery Animals is the other one. And I think you mentioned the fact that I have the podcast on Monster X Radio, which is called The Haunted Sea.
Yes.
So, yeah, I got a lot of irons in the fire there, you know. Oh, and there's another one, the Lake Monster Skeptical Forum for the skeptics.
Right.
Because I've had to break up too many fights with the Zombie Plesiosaur Society, so unfortunately I had to kind of create a skeptics ghetto, so to speak, just to keep the fights broke up, you know. I mean, you know.
I hear you.
You get some skeptics and true believers together, and they just can't have a civil conversation.
Right.
I mean, I can see both sides of the argument.
Right. Me too.
But, you know, it's just, you know.
But it's
not that I was trying to, not so much that I was trying to ostracize the skeptics as to just get rid of all this nasty fighting that was going on in the Zombie Plesiosaur Society. I mean, there's still a little bit of it that goes on, but it was just getting miserable. It was destroying the group, and people were leaving. And I thought, well, I got to do something, you know. So it seems to work better. Actually, there's related to the Zombie Plesiosaur Society, there's actually 3 different groups, and the third one you don't hear too much about. There are some people that believe that rather than being flesh and blood animals, there is a supernatural explanation for lake monsters like zooforms or ghosts of prehistoric animals or whatever you want to, you know. It's not a school of thought that I subscribe to, but there are people that are interested in the subject that subscribe to that idea. So for those people, I created a third group called the Ghost Plesiosaur Society. But there's not many people over there, but you see a post over there once in a blue moon. You could hear crickets over there. It's not very busy. The group that has the most activity in it is the original group, the Zombie Plesiosaur Society. But there's quite a bit of activity in the skeptical group too, so, And like I said, I'm not trying to ostracize anyone for their particular take on this. It's just that some people's views are so far apart that they can't have a constructive conversation. So it's best if they have their particular conversations with like-minded individuals
Absolutely.
in other places, if that makes any sense.
Oh, I'm glad you did that.
All I was trying to do was, break
well, you
up all
took the
fun,
chaos. You took the chaos out of it, and I think anybody with wisdom on either side of the fence should appreciate that. Well,
like I said, I've had people criticize me for doing this, but it's just, all it was doing was just, there was nothing constructive coming out of the conversations. It was just
and people were getting offended and
name calling, and I just think it's unnecessary, because if anyone wants to explore the other option, all they got to do is go over to the other group. We have a lot of people that belong to either two or all three groups, so it's not like anybody's being censored. It's just, I'm just trying to avoid all the arguing.
Yes.
At least the arguing that's not
who's got time for
resulting in any kind of constructive
conclusion,
breakthrough, or moving forward,
Oh, that's I like I said, because I belong to the Zombie Plesiosaur Society. I'm a member.
Yeah, I see value in all the viewpoints.
Sure. I do too. But there are certain, we'll say, personalities that just mix like oil and water, and
I know.
What happens is that it starts picking sides, and it turns into
it's just some people's viewpoints are so polarized, and they so inherently, vehemently disagree with the other person that it becomes personal, and they wind up arguing with this person and dislike the person just because of their intractable views not being able to mesh, if that makes any sense,
I remember another group, the Oarfish. You have an Oarfish group.
Oh, yeah, I have the Oarfish group. And, I recently started up one about Basilosaurus, too, the prehistoric whale.
Ooh, very cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
Another thing we should point out is that and that's one of the things I like about your research is the prehistoric stuff is really the paleontology.
The idea is that a lot of what people are describing in these monster reports, a lot of it sounds like prehistoric marine animals that are supposed to be extinct that we know from the fossil record. So you have one set of data over here, photographs and eyewitness reports of things that people claim to be seeing that supposedly resemble known prehistoric animals. Then you've got another set of data over here of real knowledge that we know about extinct marine animals that sound sort of like some of the reports. And you're, working along the possibility that there's a slight possibility that these animals might have survived, and what these people are seeing and describing and photographing and videotaping may be these animals. Now, that's a big, leap. But in case that is the case, it would behoove everybody to know as much about these real animals that are supposedly extinct as we can learn, to try to cross-correlate that with the modern reports. That doesn't necessarily mean that's what's going on, but if that is the case, it's best to be prepared for that possibility, you know?
Right.
So that's the way to look at it.
You know, well, we got about 3.5 minutes left. So why don't we wrap this up? First of all, we'd like to thank you, Scott, so much for coming on today and getting us.
Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yeah, this was such a wonderful interview, and everybody in chat enjoyed it.
Well, that's
Yes.
great. You know, problem is when you get into the details of this subject, God, I mean, it's deep. I mean, there's so many details to talk about. You never can get to all of it, you know?
Oh, of course. And we only discussed one lake monster.
Right?
We didn't get into Nessie. We didn't get into
We didn't get into Nessie or sea serpents or any of the rest of it, you know? Yeah.
That's why we like having you on every so often. Because
Well, I would love to come back on any other time you want me to be on. Just give me some notice.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know, I got stuff going on all the time. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I might get a phone call from somebody can you come be on this documentary or be on this show, you know?
Right.
We'll see what happens.
Alrighty. We'd like to thank everyone for tuning in, first of all, to Paraversal Universe. We'd like to thank our guest, cryptozoologist Scott Mardis, for a fantastic interview, and to William Durangas, rest in peace,
Rest
buddy.
in peace.
You won't be forgotten. Next Friday on Paraversal Universe, we'll be talking to adventurer and renowned private detective Jax Atwell. You may remember him from the TV show Missing in Alaska. It will be nice to catch up with him, as it's been a while, a few years.
Yeah.
So check that out. Feel free to support any of the networks mentioned here tonight, as well as the Northern Wisconsin Paranormal Society Limited, 501c3 nonprofit organization, by donating. It's folks like you who ensure these excellent organizations will be here tomorrow. To the believer, the evidence is overwhelming.
And to the skeptic, there will never be enough.
Thank you. Good night. God bless you. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone, and we'll see you here next time.
Good night, everyone.
You are listening to WPHM Digital Broadcasting. The best in paranormal talk radio.